This is your daily briefing and you're very welcome to it. Nice day, so I thought we'd pop out. Also a frustrating day. Behind the camera there's a pile of rather antique, but not in a true antique, I mean rickety garden furniture. And I had thought I bought a bucket of paint with which to strip it back and bring it back to life. But unfortunately, I appear to have bought something that you'd more readily find in a vegan shake bar for cleansing your colon. And to say it's green water is an understatement. So that was annoying, but not as annoying as the rest of my day, which has been full and well and truly wasted by Jack Pitt-Brooke, Alistair Gold, and anybody else I can think of along the way. So this morning, most of us woke up to the fact that Jack Pitt-Brooke had hit a 6 with this amazing story about Poch and Tottenham both being open to getting the band back together. Alistair Gold gushed on social media that this was the excellent Jack Pitt-Brooke, but then rather curiously didn't link back to The Athletic in his own piece and just gave us a load of the Football London understands. But so that's between them. So what happened? I was just quite staggered by this, and there's no reason why I should be privy to anything. We all, we get stuff for the first time, but I was slightly taken aback that something big had kind of skipped the radar. So I did a small amount of digging, and I have to say the investigation, it could have been undertaken by Inspector Clouseau, so cartoon-like was the whole thing. This isn't even his exclusive, and listen, when I first started doing this, I got called out. People say, "Oh, you've just nicked that off of Spurs Community or Coys or whatever," and the truth is that information comes from here, and people tell people who tell people. There is no divine source. So yeah, you could have an incident where a politician or something sits there and says, "Look, Michael, I'm telling you now, we're going to war this evening." That's an exclusive, and I'm just on my way to the House of Commons to announce it. That's a true exclusive that you got it before he told anybody else. But the bare bones of this were taken from the Sun 2 days previously, because all of the information is identical. And frankly, I don't think Pitt-Brooke and these other characters are all they're cracked up to be. I've discussed the what would be the polite word? The crash and burn of the Athletics football coverage over the recent months. It's been terrible, and in particular, we've had just stories like sort of half cracked ideas for stories just based upon the white noise of social media. No inside information and no insight, and everything's sort of just bundled together, and the object of the exercise just appears to produce 3,500 words because they've got, they're contractually obliged, and I don't think that's the way to do this. I mean, but what do I know? So 2 days beforehand, which takes us to Tuesday the 25th, the Sun had published their own version of Spurs and Poch are both open to the idea of getting the band back together. But a few days before that, it was the Sun that had run a really speculative piece whereby they were suggesting that Daniel was now regretting the decision to fire Maurizio all that time ago, and that he was gonna, that was it. That was the thrust of the article, that he told friends that he felt remorse or whatever the thing would be. But on the Tuesday, we get this next step forward in the story, which is that it's on. Poch could be coming back, and the quality of some of the responses to this just blew my mind. I won't trawl through it all, because I'm not This Is Football, you know, these fans react to that, and then all, but just, oh yeah, great, woohoo. No, but so few people had an intelligent reaction to this that actually showed any degree of analysis or wit or imagination. And what's even sadder is, whilst all this was going on Monday, sorry, I'm about to sneeze, or hay fever or mould rot coming off this furniture. But on Monday, the PSG website ran a full-length, very sort of cosy interview with Poch. One of those sort of end-of-season things. What were his feelings on how it was going? You know, the new gaffer, his take on the season and the achievements and the near misses and all that sort of stuff. It was very soft, sort of underarm bold stuff, but by the same token, it was lengthy, and there was plenty of like building for the future and the usual Poch thing about, you know, getting the philosophy right and all that sort of business. Nothing that you could really point at and sort of say, well, now we know PSG are tough taskmasters. Tuchel, I think, had a 2 or 2.5 year deal. They don't give out big deals to people. And Pochettino's, they knew they were taking a punt. They only gave him 18 months. So there is that to kind of factor in, and that's one of the absolute little crumbs of credibility or legitimacy that I see in any of this, that it wouldn't do Poch's rep any harm for a little bit of outside interest, because A, everybody knows he isn't going to be there forever, and B, he hasn't really delivered. That's not my opinion. Talk to a PSG fan. I know they like him, but the club will expect him to sweep the board, and he's not done that. He's given it a good go, but he's not swept the board. So we have all this, and then at 3 o'clock today, a colleague of mine who works for PSG Talk got in touch and said, have you seen this? And it's a French journalist by the name of Bruno Salomon. And at 3 o'clock, this guy posted a thing. Now, this a big account, works for a big media organisation in France. He's not an idiot. And I'm going to do it again. He's not a millennial. At 3 o'clock, he tweets this thing about the English press have been panicking for a couple of days now. It doesn't add up with what's happening, according to my source inside the club. And this guy is well connected. He's legit. He's kosher. He's a source. And this guy then publishes an article later this afternoon that goes into detail about the fact that PSG are, quite frankly, not amused by all this, and that Poch is their coach, and that they have no awareness of any meetings, any change in situation, blah, blah, blah. To which end, the French press then point to something else which has also happened, and at 10 a.m. this morning, or roughly as best I can work out the time, because I'm not very good on the interwebs, Poch posted on his Instagram a picture of him with a not dissimilar view behind him, of a drink with a sort of bamboo straw or something, and the French kind of roughly translated to what was it, restoring energies, you know, picking up energy again. So it was a bit of sort of like, here I am, bit of downtime, bit of vitamin D or whatever you call it. And he's wearing what can be only described as the attire of a man of a certain age. He's got like a t-shirt or a polo shirt on, and what looks to be like a sweatshirt over his shoulders. And the shirt underneath, the t-shirt, the polo shirt, got a big PSG logo on. So I've wasted my day constructing articles that fight for people to apply logic and reason and, you know, rational lateral thought to the thing of Poch coming back. And in the face of these, we've just had this tidal wave of hurrah, whoopee, from people who, I have to tell you, aren't very bright. And they've been stoked up by, I don't know what to call it. I don't like this. I don't like this total wholesale invention of stuff. And I think your average reader deserves more. I mean, I know there are dummies out there, but why feed them? So the conclusion to this, the punchline, if you like, is I've just looked on The Athletic, and I don't know how recently it was, but it's been since this morning. This afternoon, Pitbrook is running with a piece that PSG are very disturbed by all this and not keen to get rid of Pochettino. So that was, we've had the flim, and now we get the flam. I think this whole thing has been a stunt. I'm not going to get all, you know, oh, it's a disgrace and all that one, because, you know, who cares really in the scheme of things. But this is just out and out time wasting. Out and out time wasting. If Pochettino comes to Tottenham, this is my heartfelt apology in advance. I'm so sorry. What have we been doing here? 12 minutes. I've stolen 12 minutes from you. So, you know, if you see me in the street, tap me on the shoulder. Oi, I want my 12 minutes back. But I don't see it. I don't see it working. I think whoever takes the job, it's kind of academic. I don't see Levy, you know, reforming his ways. I don't see him conceding power to a coach. He's had Poch. He didn't fancy backing him properly. He's had Mourinho, who's forgotten more about football than Levy will ever learn. So what are you going to do? You're going to make a manager out of Lego. You know, it's just a joke. But today has been an exercise in futility. So well done, Jack. Well done, Alistair. You've done your reputations an absolute power of good. And I think the thinking fan will know where their clicks should go next time round. Anyway, there's worse things that could happen. You could buy paint that doesn't work. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.